I think Aaron and I especially had some fun memories of those first few months being in crypto, being in the NFT space, and just really kind of enjoying learning.
Yeah.
How did you find it, like building and working with your mate?
If I know something is gonna work, I'm all in. You know what I mean? Like I saw it as like, okay, this is an opportunity to change my life and the lives of everybody that I work with, who is just like super talented, but the music industry is just messed up. So I was like, you know what? This is literally our shot, and I'm not gonna let it slip.
G'day guys, and welcome to another episode of the NFT Project Podcast. With me today, Brock. We just love a little duo episode, Brock and I. And today we also have a really cool interview. We've got Pip on. He's a Web3 artist. I'll call him a Web3 artist. He's getting his hands dirty in Web3. He's releasing an EP through Web3, and we kind of just want to talk to him today about his journey into Web3 and NFTs, and his kind of viewpoint on how the music industry will change with Web3. So Pip, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, welcome.
No worries. I guess, yeah, like let's kick it off with maybe just like an introduction into who you are, what your background has been in the music industry, and I guess how you found Web3.
Yeah, so my full name is Thomas Pipolo. Everybody calls me Pip. I played sports growing up my whole life, so it was like a nickname. But yeah, so music started, I'd say, 2 years ago. Put out my first song and kind of caught a little steam with it. Signed to a big manager. I was doing the whole writing and producing thing for a year and a half or so to get a cut with like a big artist, make some money, and then bounce like our own music off of it. But how the industry works, you're just at the mercy of all these other people, and they don't really care about what your problems are, like in terms of money and whatever. So I mean, we were going back and forth to Miami, Nashville, writing for pretty big artists, and it was just like not happening. It would have happened in time. It's just you have no clue when, right? So I'm a go-getter. One of my closest collaborators, 2AM, DJ producer, is a go-getter. We were both signed to the same guy, and we were like, dude, like we got to figure something out. We got to, you know what I mean? So I'd say in the middle of the pandemic, I actually met with my family friend called, his name is Nick Johnson. He's like the lead advisor for Cotton Candy Records, which is launching in June. But he's like a blockchain expert, the guy. And I knew something was going on with these NFTs in 2020. There was like nothing happening with music at the time. I was like, dude, what's going on? Let's go meet. We had lunch, and I was like, he was like talking like Chinese. So yeah, and it just didn't click or whatever, but it set me on like a path to kind of learn more. So every time I would drive out to 2AM's house, which is like an hour away where his studio is, I would pop in a podcast or whatever and learn. And then like a year later, I saw him again, and he's like, dude, you got it. Like, if you don't do this now, you're gonna regret this for the rest of your life. Still didn't do it, but I was still learning. And then I'd say it was January of this year. Everybody in my family got COVID besides me. I was like locked in my room, and we were waiting. I was still waiting to go down to Miami for another like writing thing. I was like, you know what? If I don't learn this like NFT stuff now, I ain't ever gonna do it. You know what I mean? It was like one of those things. And me being an athlete, like I played college baseball, and it was like I was talking to myself like a coach, like, dude, like get to it. Yeah, get to it. So I started by like saying like I literally just typed in why is Bored Ape Bored Ape Yacht Club a thing, right? Like and I'm a business guy, so I wanted to learn like what's the shtick behind this like whole thing, and just learn that it's just like a normal business. Like they offer value, they're good at branding, marketing, their team, yada yada yada. And then I researched a couple other ones. I'm like, whoa, like you could offer different things with the NFTs, and I just realized it was just a normal business. It's just like starts digital, and then from there I was like, okay, let's figure this out. How do I do something with music? And I just went in my cave in my room, and I just literally was just locked in for about 2 months developing like every idea and stuff like that with Nick and whatever.
How's that crypto hole you get into when you first like learn about it, and
Oh,
you're just like the juices are flowing, and it's just like all you can think about for the first 2 weeks. You just like, yeah, what's going on? Like not sleeping because you're like, I must have missed something. What's happening over here?
oh no, it was. I mean, I was there for it was like a 15-hour day, like every day. It was crazy. Videos, articles, everything. As my dog starts crying.
He remembers. He remembers.
Yeah, he remembers. So funny.
Yeah, we I think Aaron and I especially had some fun memories of those first few months, being in crypto, being in the NFT space, and just really kind of enjoying learning.
Yeah.
How did you find it, like building and working with your mate in those early days?
Yeah.
Like
So
you're saying, it's long days, but did you find
yeah,
enjoyment?
yeah, it's very similar with like baseball or whatever when I was working out and kind of like practicing a new technique or whatever. Um, I was like groomed to do that. You know what I mean? It was hard, but it wasn't like anything new to me. Like if I know something is gonna work, I'm all in. You know what I mean? Like I saw it as like, okay, this is an opportunity to change my life and the lives of everybody that I work with, who is just like super talented, but the music industry is just messed up. So I was like, you know what? This is literally our shot, and I'm not gonna let it slip.
You were talking about being obviously playing sports early on. What led you to change from sports to music, or was music something that was always a part of who you were?
Yeah, no, music was not always a part of who I was. It's super funny. I kind of just picked it up in like my senior year of high school and then college. Um, just started teaching myself. It was kind of like a hobby to get my mind off of baseball or whatever and have something else to do. And then as I kept doing it, I was like, wait a second, like why is this like kind of really easy for me? And people like the reactions from people, I was like, okay, wait, is like music's a thing? Like, yeah, you know what I mean? After baseball. So, I mean, I saw baseball through. It was just one of those things where everything I did with baseball, it was just ran to a brick wall. Um, I tried to play professionally, but yeah, it was just not meant to be. Like music, I knew music. I say around my junior year of college, I was like, I knew music was gonna be it. I just was gonna see baseball through. You know what I mean? So yeah, that it's crazy, but yeah, I taught myself guitar, piano, and I don't know how singing. I'm just like, it cracks me up every time somebody asks me. It cracks me up. I have no clue.
And so I guess maybe just like let's touch on like you went into this crypto hole, you went into the
Yeah.
NFTs and Web3. What does that then transform into when you're like working on your music and stuff like that, and how you're thinking about music in NFTs? Like run us through like what that road was like for you.
Yeah, so so the music at first, like the plan that I had was like, okay, so I have this team of great singer songwriters, producers, right? How do I feature them and how do I merge NFTs with? And originally we were gonna launch the label that's launching in June, like right away. But as like we developed it more, we're like, you have to prove the concept first. You know what I mean? Like by yourself and kind of be a figurehead. Not that I'm very like humble and want to help everybody else. So it's like I thought it was like a selfish thing, but it's completely not. After I did it, it was like somebody has to be the face of it, and stick themselves in it. It's kind of hard to sell 6 people or 8 people at once. So I was like, okay, you do this, like, right, let's do this crowdfund for that. We turned it into the record label crowdfund, basically, that launched in March, still going. um let's launch this crowdfund almost like a business plan and show people like what's going on, and then roll that into your EP, which just launched last week through like NFTs and normal stream platforms. we threw a huge like launch party in the city all by ourselves to kind of feature the holders with open bar and all this kind of stuff. And then we're rolling that into the record label. So it's like it's a long it's a long process, but I couldn't be more glad that we chose to do it this way, because I think now that we have like a wave that the rest of the crew can kind of ride, and people knows it's legit, because I've immersed myself in the space and we're like all in. Like I mean, we are all in on music NFTs and Web3. Like we kind of want to pioneer this thing, on top of the fact that I know we have great music and we have a lot of it. Like that's the other thing. Like thank God we were writing for all those for like that year, because without having the music, like there would be no time to like do any of this stuff that we're doing. Like we have like 2 years worth of music, so it's nice. It's nice. Yeah, it's nice that we had those, like looking back that year of just writing. You know what I mean? So.
With the launch party, so that was for the record label, correct?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so it was through the record label, but it was for my EP.
With that, how'd you go with just your normal fan base interacting, like knowing that the EP was like a crowd fund for the record label? Did you have many fans show up knowing that they were going to be able to be a part of the NFT project as well? Like was there an interesting correlation between the two, like fans that just weren't into NFTs and then fans that were?
Yeah, what's funny is like I thought the hardest part was going to be getting like fans, friends, family, and like for the initial crowdfund. But like it was totally opposite. We haven't been able to crack the blockchain community, because I mean, I don't know if it's like a gatekeeper thing or what. Like just no big collectors, right? I thought like if you really immerse yourself and you're all in and all this stuff, because all these guys say it, you know what I mean, 24/7. It's like we're here to back anybody that's, you know what I mean. But no, that's
baby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I like to be about it. A lot of people aren't about it. But Max, shh. What was I saying? No, but so the whole point of the party was, look, we were like, let's really feature the NFT holders and show the people that like bought in and are invested, like, which is a long-term thing, plus people that don't know what the heck is going on with the NFTs. Let's show them, right? Let's give them free entry. Let's give them open bar. Let's give them a VIP section. And like just announcing the party pushed like $6,000 in NFT sales, because it clicked for people. Like, wait, this thing gets me open bar, free entry. It's like, you know what I mean? So
Sign me up.
All of a sudden it's like, whoa, wait, it's just like a ticket. And this is a long-term ticket. Like they're going to be doing this forever and ever and ever. So it's like, what am I doing? Not spending, you know what I mean? And people, like the amount, I'd say we had like 40 holders there, and then like 120, no, what do we have? 130, I don't know, 100 or so like random people. And they were all asking everybody, like, trying to learn about all this, like trying to learn about everything. You know what I mean? So it's just like a good intro to the whole music NFT thing. And just we just wanted to, or we are going to keep just adding value to the first like pass holders. So that's why people don't, that's the other thing. It's very hard to like explain what's going on with that first crowdfund. It's kind of like a founders club, that we're going to be like, that's going to be our people. Like whenever it's legal to do the revenue sharing, and like those people are
day ones.
Yeah, exactly. So people realize that at the party, it's like, whoa, like these guys are going to be treating us like freaking kings.
And it would have been cool. It would have been cool for them to see, for people who weren't familiar with NFTs, like to see the actual like proof of concept of like what an NFT realistically is. Like it's it's a membership, it's a ticket, it gives you access to these kinds of things. So I think being able to see it in person,
Yeah.
I'm sure that's why you got so many more sales after that party, because people are like, okay, this is the concept, this is what it is. It's not just a picture of a monkey or whatever. It's like it actually has value, and I'm getting that value right now at this party, at this event.
Yeah, that was key when me and Nick were developing it. He's like, we have to figure something out where you're offering the value like instantly, right? And more than probably the cost of the ticket or the NFT. So, I mean, open bar, like the event, we probably could have charged like a general admission ticket for that event for like $100 or so bucks, and then you get open bar. It's like I get my money back right there. It's like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's a steal, and then on top of all the utility with like the tickets for life for everybody that's ever signed to the record label, it's just like people are so happy and like feel like they got a great deal, which is so important because we need them for the long term. You know what I mean?
What?
A little Max.
Yeah, for those that are listening in, Max, his dog is sitting on his lap because he was whining in the background, so there will be some cameos. What was because I think you mentioned that the EP was first, and then you kind of switched it into the record label. Where was that kind of unlock for you and maybe your friends and your team, where you just went,
Yeah.
okay, maybe this is something bigger than just me releasing some music?
Yeah, I mean, I knew we were going to the record label in June, no matter what. So the plan was just for me to be like the figurehead.
Guinea pig.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. The sacrificial lamb. And then as time went, as like we just branded it on the site different. You know what I mean? It wasn't like we changed the business plan, but like it was like Cotton Candy Skies EP. EP crowdfund, right? Initially, and then a month in, I'm like, okay, Cotton Candy Records crowdfund. It's just damn near impossible to like. I love being like very organized with it and stuff. It's just, you know what I mean? The jump from crowdfund to EP launch to record label, it's like super hard to find a way to tell that story. So I was like, you know what? I really don't care about editing the freaking name of the crowdfund, and people are starting to understand it. They can go on Twitter and learn about what's going on. You know what I mean? So, and it's so funny because I was so busy with everything that I didn't realize like one of the major utilities. Like initially, it was just the passes you get, tickets for life to all my headlining shows, like based on the tiers. I was like, wait a second, why wouldn't we give tickets for life to everybody that ever signed on the record label? I was like, damn it, I wish I thought of that like 2 days after the thing. I'm like, I gotta go switch that. Let me just put it outside. But yeah.
That's the beauty of the blockchain, is that you can continually update what you give to holders as well.
Exactly. And we're not afraid to like change anything. We're not like, it's so early. Everything's like a test run with this. You know what I mean? So
for sure. I'd love to know like what because I guess it's been like in the media a bit recently where, like all these like big record label artists are, I guess, coming out and talking about how, their record labels are telling them to make, TikTok hits and get on social media and do TikTok dances to your songs to try and make them go viral. And obviously that's just the record label wanting to make money, and that's currently
they want to make their money back. Yeah,
how record labels are making money is by going viral on TikTok. So it's obviously understandable, but like maybe I'd love to know like why you think like a Web3 music label can really be for the artists and for the music and their art, as opposed to just making money for a traditional record label.
Yeah, so I mean, right off the jump, what we're doing is like I signed myself to Cotton Candy Records. 80% of everything I make is mine. 20% is the record labels. So that's every artist that's ever going to be. So that right there alone, that flips the whole script. I mean, the best deal you're getting as an artist, I don't care how big you are, whatever, you're getting 50. It's going to be 50-50. And that's not happening. You're going to get 80-20 split, 80 going to the record label, 20 going to you. So that's right off the jump. And then I'd say the biggest thing is is like it's going to change stuff because why with the new economic model that is like NFTs, you don't need volume, right? You don't need a million monthly listeners, a million streams. We raised $20,000 in one day with the crowdfund with like 25 people. So imagine at scale with like a big artist that's doing it the right way. It's like, wait a second, oh my god, my dog. What's going on here, right? Like it's like, wait a second.
Well, it's like, and there hasn't really been like, I personally can't really think of anything too much that I would be able to spend my money on, like obviously like a big artist, but also like a medium and little artist, that isn't like merch sales. Like you're always told to buy merch because that's like the biggest revenue for the artist. It's like there hasn't really been any real ways to invest in someone's music or their career apart from like streaming their songs, going to the shows, and buying merch. Like this is just like unlocked a new potential.
But even merch, you know, on that wave, I don't think artists have ever really realistically over the last 10 to 20 years, while I've been going to concerts and festivals, I've never seen quality merch where I was at an event going, fuck yeah. I buy it because I'm a fan, but I feel like that's been a big miss as well. So
it's support. Like, yeah, and I'm not like I love the supporting thing, but we didn't do anything for that. Like we're trying to, I mean, yes, obviously nice if you want to support, but we want to offer like real value to people. You know what I mean? And like that was my biggest thing because I'm not a guy that wants to ask like for support. I want to make sure it's legit, like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, and the other thing is too is like it's a paradigm shift in the industry. Like, I mean, there's so many, like with the drop that we just did with Vault for the EP on Solana. Like I was thinking about it the other day. It's so like dramatizing it, but not really. Like, when's the last time people bought albums? Like we sold. Who the heck am I? Like, you know, I have less than 10,000 monthly listeners on Spotify and whatever, and I'm selling 50 plus copies and keep on going of my album, of like my EP. So it's like, wait a second, like what like me proving this concept right now and our music, which I believe can go mainstream. It's like, why can't any of these big artists do the same exact thing? There's no reason. They just don't know how to do it, and they know how to do it right, and their labels aren't willing to learn and adapt. So
yeah, I think we've talked about it before, where we just feel as well that they're kind of scared. They don't want to ruin what's, you know, the gravy train essentially of what's already coming in. So it's like, why risk it on potentially losing fans to the mysteries of Web3, with, you know, we're losing Ethereum, having your wallet hacked, you know, those kind of things that they just will like, I'd rather just stay clear, keep my checks coming in from the record label and just stay here and ride out the next decade. But I think with NFTs, it's probably going to upset it. It won't totally change the music industry in the sense of revolutionize it, but what it'll do is it's putting the power back for that lower middle artist that just wants to make a living, that just wants to put music out, that just wants to live a happy life being a musician.
No, I actually think, I mean, that is true. Like that's definitely going to happen for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I actually am of the belief that this thing is going to change everything. Like I actually think it's going to be a revolution because it just takes a couple big artists to see what's going on. Be like, I know they're making millions of dollars already, but who doesn't want to make more millions of dollars? Like, you know what I mean, it cracks me up when people are like, oh, they're already making so much money. Why would they want to? Guys, I haven't seen one person in my life that doesn't want to make more money. Like,
it's a fair statement.
But also, like, I don't know if you saw, Pip, what the Chainsmokers just recently did. They did a drop where theirs is obviously like purely community focused. Like they obviously gave out like 5,000 NFTs for free, and then all the secondary royalties went to the writers on the album, because they were just like, we don't need any more money, but what we want to do is we want to get that 5,000 core group community, and like give back to those like fans. So I think it's also like a huge thing. Even if like, you know, you've got Drake's got enough money to live the rest of his life a happy man, but like to, you know, to get like a group of like 5,000, 10,000, 50,000 of like your most loyal fans who want to be there to support you and to be able to give back to them as an artist, I think is also a huge
Yeah.
selling point for why NFTs
it's a weapon.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and the other thing, like I think what's going to be big is like early releases through NFTs, like really early releases with big artists. Like we did our EP drop the day before the release, so it wasn't like a big lead up. But we like with Vault, we put in. I don't know if you guys know Vault, but Vault is founded by Nigel Eccles. He's the former CEO of FanDuel. He founded FanDuel, and he founded this music NFT company. And they partnered with us to do like the first drop on their album player, and it's a super cool like experience. We put like a exclusive music video, like explainers of all the songs, like brief, like how, like why I wrote it, and then the whole album is in there, and it's like a super cool like flow and experience that I think is going to be a model for other artists like down the line, to be honest. And there's no reason why any big artist can't use that. And like, who are your guys' favorite artists or band?
Well, he's just the Chainsmokers.
I love
and I'm Kanye.
Kanye.
Yeah.
So I mean, Kanye already did something similar, but say the Chainsmokers were like, okay, they just put an album out, but they were like, okay, we're putting our album out May 27th or whatever, but we're gonna release it through Vault a month and a half early in April.
He's here for this. You're
I'm
speaking his language.
And they did 10,000 copies. 10,000 copies. The whole album's in it. You get an exclusive music video and whatever. It's like it's a limited amount. $50, $100. You're telling me they wouldn't have 10,000 people buy that thing? Like
exactly, 100%.
And that's $1 million.
All the fans. Like if you like,
that's $1 million. That's $1 million incoming right there. And then
before they even release the album, $1 million.
Yeah, and then people are gonna be trading it. The thing's gonna rip. Like there's only. I think the Chainsmokers have more than 10,000 fans. And the thing is like with Vault is like making it where you don't even know it's an NFT. Like you could buy it with PayPal and all this stuff. So that's what's gonna happen. I mean, that's like a major model that I think is like that's gonna happen.
The biggest thing that we've felt is missing currently, and that's what you're talking about, is kind of disguising the blockchain in a sense. So you're still buying an NFT, but a regular user doesn't have to feel like they're fucking, you know, going through a MetaMask, etc. Where they can still feel like they're a normal Web 2 user, but they're buying an NFT. Where you have like, is Vault custodial wallets, or do you have to have a?
So they have an app, and like they have a really nice app and their website, but if you can buy it in app through Apple, or you could purchase it with Solana or credit card, like on PayPal online. So there's like a bunch of different options.
So you got basically it's like custodial or non-custodial. You can choose what you want to do. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And that's what I tell people too. Like I was like, guys, we're so early with the technology that you see like the backing of like all this stuff, like the gears turning. Soon you're not gonna know like how the heck does this work right now. Like you guys are in Australia, right?
Yeah.
Like what, you know what I mean? Like what? Like,
no one would have thought this up. Yeah.
What is going on? Like I don't know how this works, but we're doing it, right? So it's like everybody's so worried about, oh, what is NFT? Like soon you're not even gonna ask that question. It's just okay. Let me click a button and just normal experience all over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing in the space is the chatter about eventually over the next year we won't be saying the word NFT anymore. It'll be something else, because it'll just move into that, you know, digital collectible stage where it won't. NFT will kind of be just a dead word, because it's so technical, and that's the thing that's really scaring people at the moment, is like saying the word non-fungible token. You're like, fucking shut up, dude. What the fuck are you saying?
Yeah, and I wasn't through like the internet, but I remember social media like when it came out, and I took a while to like, what the heck is this? Like I post a picture and like, who cares? You know what I mean? And it just takes like a while to break it in, and people music, and the more people like me do the thing with the launch party, and it was like, whoa, like, you know what I mean? But the thing is too, a lot of these like Web3 music NFT native people, they keep it so like freaking nerdy that so many people get scared like of even for me, like one of the biggest things why it took me so long, I was like, what the heck is, like, I have no clue what any of this means. Everybody says like these random phrases and stuff. I'm like, what is going on? You know what I mean? I'm like, why can't people just talk like it's the normal industry? You know what I mean? I was like, it's like they want it to be like an exclusive club, but it's not. Like, you know what I mean? And help everybody
And it
out if
shouldn't
it's
be.
not.
And it shouldn't be. Yeah.
No. Yeah, no. Like, I tell everybody, like, this is the first thing that's like, the more people come in to what you're doing, like, and what everybody's doing, the more everybody benefits. So it's like truly, it cracks me up when you get the big people that don't support the other, like the really prominent people doing the thing, and it just makes you wonder where their motivations and stuff are.
Well, yeah, it's usually those people, you know, striking at a time now where it's such a small crowd that they can, you know, make a bit of profit
It's
here
so
and there, and it's just, you know, it's just
yeah. It's so funny too, because everybody's starting to see like those couple of people now, and they're like, dude, what are you, like, what's going on over there? Like, you know what I mean?
And it's stupid because it's going to ruin their reputation as the space grows bigger and becomes more mainstream. So it's like they're just shooting themselves in the foot for like a short-term gain.
Yeah, it makes no sense, and people aren't dumb. Like, especially now, I mean, yeah, you have the people that are coming into space that are like green, and they're like, okay, maybe the only way to do this is if I attach myself to this platform or this guy, or, you know what I mean, because they're the only one that's like outspoken. But yeah, it's just a weird power game that I feel like is being played, where people are trying to to make themselves the prominent figure, and then all the artists that are coming in think that the only way in is through them, which isn't good. I try to tell everybody, like, that is not, like, you could do it yourself. Like, all power to going with the platform, but choose one that is for the artists, which Vault is. So
Yeah, we talk sometimes about, and I think we've just really kind of started to hit on a bit more, like the blueprint for a music NFT release, for big, you know, the planning that goes into a project,
yeah,
and how that's kind of up in the air at the moment. Like it's just kind of everyone's kind of forging their own lane, their own ideas. What was the planning process for you guys when you went through that whole,
yeah.
you know, obviously you spent time learning, and then once you learned, you came up with all your ideas. Where did you take anything from other people, from other stuff that you saw, or were you kind of just sat locked in a room and went, this is what we want to do?
Yeah, in terms of the crowdfund, or like everything, all the book.
Just everything.
Yeah,
Feel free to
so
just to speak
yeah,
to whatever you feel.
yeah. So the crowdfund that's still live, that was like, okay, I want to get the initial backers, and this be like the top of the pyramid in terms of like value being put out. So like the middle tier that sold out, there was 15 for 0.5 Ethereum. And you get 2 tickets for life to all of my headlining shows and everybody ever signed to Cotton Candy Records. And then the bottom, there's 300 for, I think it's 0.1 ETH, and we've sold only like 45 or 50 of those. So that's what's crazy too, right? Like the low volume of people, and look what's happening. It's insane. So when you hit the circuit and like, you know what I mean? But yeah, that initial drop was like the Founders Club. These people are the most exclusive. They're going to be treated like kings and queens for the rest of life. That's the structure for that. Okay, so let's get, like, when we go into the music, when Vault came knocking and we started working with Kara, the CMO, and Nigel, it was like, okay, they're like, we want to create a flow where it's like back to the normal industry where you're not spending $500 to buy an NFT or whatever. Like, why can't these things be normal? Maybe a little more expensive because we put a music video and all this stuff. Like, but why can't it feel like you're buying an actual album again? You know what I mean? Like a normal album. Like, people used to spend $15 on CDs and all this stuff. So we're like, let's hit this from like a consumer level
Yeah,
right?
well, the average punter, is happy to spend $50 to $100 comfortably
Exactly.
on anything. Like you could just
Yeah,
put
yeah,
a piece of garbage in front of them. They're like, I'm half
yeah,
interested. I'll consider
yeah,
buying it.
That's
yeah. And
why
there's
iTunes was so good because it's like, $1 a song.
Yeah.
It's like $5, $6 for an album. You're like, hell yeah.
I know, and that's why we did 25. It was like it's so funny too because I felt so responsible with like the supply and the price because I really think that Kara actually called me yesterday. I was like, you know how many people are hitting me up to like want to do that same kind of flow. I think a lot of people are going to be
Sick.
doing it. Yeah, I mean that's what it was all about. You know what I mean? It was like the first. I think it was like the first kind of project like that ever. The all in one package kind of thing. But what's cool, and Nigel Eccles says it all the time. He's like, this is one of the first times you actually own, like you're owning music. Like the last time you owned music was with CDs and vinyl and everything, but there was no real secondary market to be able to.
You're owning the rights to play the music at home. That's it.
Yeah,
That's all
exactly.
you were in the previous
And
market.
Spotify, you're renting. iTunes,
Yeah.
Apple Music, you're renting music. People are buying and owning my music, right? They could send it to somebody else. They could put it on the secondary market. You're truly owning it. Like Spotify, everybody thinks. I mean, not Spotify, but iTunes. Even iTunes, when iTunes is ripping and $6 an album, whatever. You don't own. I mean, you own it, but do you really? You can't send it to anybody. Really, you can't resell it. Like it's a one shot thing, and you're done.
The biggest thing for you, I think, and sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
Hold your train of thought there. When you were talking about like the record label and having that founders club, this is where NFTs hit as well. Is like you want to bring everyone along because, as you said as well, your family and friends are invested. So it's kind of like you're going to be even more invested because people you care about are invested, and that's how it should be. It's like, hey guys, I want, in the early days, you would go around and ask your friends and be like, hey man, like fucking listen to my album, buy my album, etc. But there's no way for them to want to be involved in that really, besides just having your back.
Support,
But
yeah.
now, they're like, yeah, cool. We love you. He's doing his fucking rap thing again. Yeah, oh Pip. Wasn't he playing baseball? No, he's a rapper now, man. Yeah, go listen to his music. And that's what it's like. And now you can go, no, this is it. I'm here. I'm part of this space. I'm moving forward. Yeah, invest in me and fucking watch me blow up.
Yeah. No, that's
but also help me blow up.
Yeah.
Because you're buying my product and you're making it more scarce, which makes me or automatically rise up in the scene.
Yeah, it's so cool to see. Like that's a perfect explanation. It's so cool to see like how our boats are all aligned. Like them posting my music and spreading it word of mouth and coming out like is helping me obviously, but it's helping them too because they have a stake in me. So it's like, yeah, that's a big thing. Like I'm not a guy that's gonna go around and ask for freaking anybody for anything, right? So when people saw me go around and say, look, this is what's going on, they were like, sign me up. Like, you know what I mean? This is like anything you do, you're going to be like, sign me up. Let's go on this ride. And I like the sick thing about last Friday was like, people saw like, holy shit. It's like, this is going to be the real fucking deal. Like the party that we threw all by ourselves, like it was just better than, I don't know if you guys saw any pictures, but it was like better than we could ever expect. I don't know how we did it, to be honest, but like
if you're already throwing parties with free bottle service, I mean, what's next,
Yeah, no, I know. Like everybody's like, oh, when's the next one? And that's so cool to see. Like, God,
let's get some secondary sales first, guys. Come on, let's just give us a break.
Yeah. No, that's what's been so cool to see the progress, but like as we keep going, the first crowdfund is going to sell out very soon, probably. And like, why wouldn't you go back and buy the first thing, right? If you get the free access moving forward, like the Founders Club is the tip of the pyramid. That's like how we think. So those first 316 holders, which there's not yet, those people, like, that's why a podcast and everything's so great because it's very hard. It's impossible to explain it. You know what I mean? It's like crowdfund to EP launch to record label. It's like, what the hell is going on? but we're doing our best.
Well, even Aaron and we've got our own project DJ, and that for us, initially was just to get involved in the space, and then that's pivoted like 100 times because we just learn more about what we should be offering, and you learn from the space.
Yeah,
Because sometimes you just might even forget skills that you have or things that you have to offer that have just been sitting dormant essentially because you haven't thought of them or thought of how to give them out to or make them a part of your project. And we call it a project, but really, as you said, it's a business.
yeah.
Everyone has an NFT business here. It's a corporation. It's not a project.
Yeah, and that's a
Calling a
huge
project undervalues them.
That's a huge yeah.
Yeah.
And it's cool to hear that you guys are like staying curious. Like this space is so adaptive. Like you have to. I mean,
That's why we
what
have
we're
the
doing,
podcast so we can learn.
yeah, yeah. What we're doing now is like, what are we doing now? Nobody knows. Like, what we're doing now is probably going to change completely in a couple of months. So, if you're not adapting, you're going to be left behind too. Like you know what I mean? Like the labels, if they don't adapt, I mean, shoot. I'm way more like to the side of everybody else of like I really think that this is gonna change the entire music industry because I already see it happening. I'm getting messages from people that are jumping ship that are like, yo, what is going on over there? You know what I mean? Teach me.
We had
And,
we had an interview with Dan, the DAO master over at Motor DAO. I don't know if you've heard of Motor DAO.
he's actually speaking at our music NFT panel June 20th outside of NFC. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was talking about the same thing where he inside Motor DAO and then other artists he's talking to are all like, hurry up, finish the project, get it launched so we can leave Web 2 behind and move over because we just don't want to deal with it anymore. So, you're not the only one. It seems to be a wave, and it's something that we're constantly trying to push to everyone and kind of shake the trees out, but it's a hard job. But it's great. It's great to hear that it's happening.
Well, that's what the thing is. And like I always tell people, like, if you guys want to see the space go forward, like back people like us, we're literally going to be meeting with all these labels and stuff to show them like, why aren't you doing this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and we're the proof of concept for the whole industry. It sounds nuts, but like if me or anybody on my team goes mainstream, so does Web3. So it's like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, it's still waiting. It's definitely waiting still for that pop culture moment. Yeah.
All you need is like the next Billie Eilish who's come from Web3, who's done it on her own, and then that like success story will just
that just gave me shivers. Then
it'll inspire so many people to do this.
Or I got chills too. No, and I believe whether it's me or one of the 6 or 7 artists,
it's gonna be you, Pip. It's gonna be you, man.
I think it will, honestly. Like I mean, not Billie. I mean, Billie Eilish. What the? Yeah, no, but I don't got the looks for that. But
good in agreement.
No, our music, like all along, we were like, okay, I think this is gonna work because we were gonna make it in the normal music industry, and now you combine the Web3 knowledge and NFTs and all in that aspect. It's like, geez, you know what I mean? That's why we just wish we had support from the big people because this thing would be way bigger. It'll come, yeah. And I don't even know, like, shoot, if they don't want to come in, go ahead. Like, doesn't matter. We're gonna have a squad of like independent artists that are wanting to learn and people that want to support. But if they really wanted the space to grow, they'd back us because we're gonna do it. We're gonna. I couldn't be more confident about taking the hill for the space. So
we love the attitude. We love this kind of energy.
Yeah. It is what it is. I mean, I just I'm being real, and I'm the most humble dude like you'll meet too. So that's why it's really cool because I'm so fired up about all this stuff that it's like I don't really care what I say.
He's doubling down what he says.
I'm doubling down. I'm like quadruple down. Like I've never been more confident about anything in my life. Like people are probably think I'm nutso right now, but you know what? It's like a Netflix kind of thing. I really think like, when Netflix was telling Blockbuster, like, hey guys, like,
we're coming for you.
Yeah. And they're like, no, you're not. Like, yeah, we are. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be one of those things where it's gonna be the labels, if they don't adapt, they're gonna be dinosaurs. Like, and
we
so
believe we absolutely 100% believe in the
yeah.
power of music NFTs and just NFTs in general.
And it's more than that. It's like the industry is so effed up. Like everybody in the industry is set to make money besides the artists, the platform, the streaming platform, the record labels, the venues, the radio. Like everybody makes money but the artists. Meanwhile, the artists are the ones that are providing them the product to make money. So like what are we doing as artists allowing that to happen now that there's a technology that
Put it
can
back
make
in
that
your hands.
happen? Yeah, like we have the power. We could just not make music and then they don't make money. So it's like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's such like when you think about it like that, it's such a simple concept, but it's so complex because people have to like band together. It sounds so cheesy, but it's going to take like an army of artists to just be all in on this. So
I 100% agree.
yeah.
It's
We're on the front lines.
It's something that we've communicated many times before, is that kind of language. Is like you can't complain about something you're not actively trying to change.
Yeah, exactly. Like be about it. It takes what it takes. Like buckle up and let's do this. Like what do you know what I mean? Like
that's a new one. Be about. I love that. You said it a couple of times tonight. Be about it. Fucking
I say it like 80 times. You got to be about it. Everybody talks. Talk doesn't mean anything. It's all about action. So what are you going to do about it?
Change the name of this episode to Be About It.
Be about it. Hell yeah.
Is there anything you want to finish up on? Like anything you want to mention before we head off?
Yeah. So
Starry Night.
If you guys want to be a part of the Founders Club kind of thing,
if you guys want to be about it.
Yeah, if you guys want to be about it and back us, that crowdfund is still open. But I just dropped my EP with Vault, and it's all on streaming platforms called Cotton Candy Skies. But go check out the $25 one on Vault. Like if you're an independent artist, I think that model is going to be something that you could take advantage of. So go check that out. And then in June, outside of NFT NYC, we're dropping Cotton Candy Records, and everybody that's with us is putting out a little project. And we're going. So we're going to have a huge record label PFP drop. And then we're doing some things with several platforms, just some unique things. But the PFP drop is going to be so sick because that was like the initial project that I wanted to originally do in the beginning, like I was saying. But now that we're finally coming, I'm like, yes. It's going to be one of the first like PFP music projects. So like there's going to be like rarity of sound and all that stuff. But it's all based on the logo of the record label. Cool little cotton candy guy with the X eyes.
Exciting, man. Exciting.
Yeah.
Sounds like a really exciting couple of months for you. We wish you all the best. And obviously we'll be keeping an eye very closely on what you guys are doing. And we'll leave all the links in the show notes for everyone so they can go check it out. Keep coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. Seriously, thank you.
Great to chat. Love the energy. Fucking can't wait to see. Can't wait to see you do some serious damage in the space. So we're really looking forward to it.
Hell yeah. Thank you.